Go ahead and get comfortable. Tonight, I want to tell you a story that takes us to a remote corner of France, a place wrapped in thick forests and silent hills, where the fog seems to have a life of its own. It's here, centuries ago, that an incredible terror was born. So just relax, breathe slowly, because we're about to wander into the fascinating and haunting legend of the beast of Gévaudan.
So let's go back in time, shall we? We're in the mid-1700s, in a French province called Gévaudan. Just try to picture it. A really isolated, rugged place, almost forgotten by the rest of the world. Life here was quiet, predictable. You know, until it wasn't. It all started small, the way these things always do. Just whispers at first. People seeing strange figures moving just at the edge of the woods. Hearing these unsettling sounds that would just break the dead of night. And then, livestock started vanishing, with no trace at all. These were the very first cracks in the valley's peace. This growing feeling that something was deeply, deeply wrong. And then, it happened. The attack started on people. And the few who were lucky enough to survive, well, they all said the exact same thing. Whatever they saw, it wasn't a wolf. Not any kind of wolf they had ever seen before. It was something else. Something unnatural. So what was this thing that was stalking the countryside? Well, the stories from survivors started to paint this truly terrifying, really confusing picture. It's like they were piecing together a monster from these split-second glimpses they caught in moments of just pure panic. And that became the consuming obsession, right? It was the question that haunted every single home, whispered around every single fire. What was this thing lurking out there in their woods? What's so striking is how consistent all the descriptions were. I mean, these people were in a state of shock, but they all talked about a creature that was enormous, way bigger than the largest wolf. They mentioned this weird reddish fur, a massive jaw, this long, powerful tail. And its speed, wow. They said it moved like a shadow, almost like the darkness itself was carrying it. So, with no clear answer, you can imagine what happened. Speculation just ran wild. People wondered, was it some kind of bizarre hybrid animal, a monster from a forgotten time? Some were even convinced it was something supernatural, a punishment sent down upon them. But no matter what they thought it was, they all called it by the same name, the beast. 3 years. Just think about that for a second. For 3 long, agonizing years, this absolute terror just gripped the entire region. Can you imagine that constant, gnawing fear? 3 years of locking your windows at dusk, of telling your kids they can't play in the meadows, of just silence, hoping the silence would keep you safe. And the cost of that fear? It was horribly real. Over those 3 years, more than 100 people were attacked. It usually happened when they were alone, in some isolated field or on a lonely country road. Absolutely no one, anywhere, felt safe. Okay, so things got so bad that the authorities just couldn't ignore it anymore. The hunt for the beast of Gévaudan began for real. But what they were about to find out was that they weren't really hunting an animal. They were hunting a ghost. The terror spread so far that it reached the ears of the king himself, King Louis XV. He couldn't ignore it, so he sent professional hunters, even soldiers, all the way to Gévaudan. They organized these huge hunts, sweeping through the forests for days at a time, absolutely determined to end this thing. But it was so frustrating for them. They had these massive hunts. They killed dozens and dozens of wolves, but the attacks just kept happening. The real beast was still out there. It was like it knew their every move, like it could anticipate every single trap, just melting back into the shadows right when they thought they had it. And then, in 1767, after years of nothing, a local hunter, a guy named Jean Chastel, he finally managed to kill a very large, very strange-looking animal. And right after he did, the attack stopped. For good. The terror was, well, seemingly over. But was it really over? I mean, you'd think that would be the end of the story, right? But instead, this is the moment where all the facts start to get a little blurry, and the beast of Gévaudan begins to change from a historical event into an enduring myth. See, there was a problem. When people examined the animal that Chastel had killed, some of them started saying that it didn't quite match those terrifying descriptions from the survivors. The stories of its incredible size and all those unique features, they didn't quite line up with the body.
And so the whispers started all over again. That maybe, just maybe, the real beast was still out there. And that's the question that stays with us, isn't it? All these centuries later, was the beast just a really, really big wolf? Some strange hybrid animal that science didn't know about? Or was it maybe something more? Something that our logic just can't quite explain. So tonight, as you close your eyes and let yourself drift off, just imagine those ancient, dark forests. Listen to the wind as it brushes through the trees. And just remember that some stories, some mysteries, they never really die. They just become whispers in the dark. Sleep well.